Can I have your attention? Yes, you and you. I bet there are things that you all love to do, like riding your bike or laughing with friends, banging a drum or climbing a fence. You hop and you skip, you cartwheel and run. There are 17 ways that you play in the sun. But for Daisy McDerkin, there was only one. Daisy awoke at 5:15, and by 9:07 she'd decided. "I'm climbing that slide," she declared, with her fist in the air. "I'm not frightened." She hopped on her bike and stomped on the pedals and blazed round the lake like the wind, towards the playground that sits in the sycamore trees where the evergreen river begins. Daisy arrived, lay her bike on its side, grabbed some pie, and decidedly strode to the foot of the slide, and she gazed up its face to appraise how the day might unfold. Then she gasped in surprise, shuttered her eyes, dropped a whole slice of pie on her toes. Holy smokes! It was high. And I suppose I should warn you, I should probably disclose, this slide was quite different, incredibly so. It was tall as a tree and long as a bus. It was jarringly steep and peppered with rust. It zigzagged and hairpinned. It jackknifed and jolted. It twisted and corkscrewed, contorted and vaulted. Daisy gulped, and she trembled. She shuddered in fear. She clutched at her head. What was she doing here? It was too scary, too bonkers, too nuts. This slide was too high. No ifs, ands, or buts. Just then the sun was obscured by a cloud. The wind blustered and gusted and flustered about. It tousled the leaves that littered the ground, till they floundered and skittered and scuttled around. "I can't do it," she said, and she turned round to leave, to throw in the towel and succumb to defeat. Then something inside her said, "No, that's not me. I'm climbing that slide as sure as can be." She opened her notebook and scribbled the time. Then she rolled up her sleeves and started to climb. Daisy scrunched up her face as she raced up the slide, over tangles of blossoming blackberry brambles that scratched at her elbows and slashed at her ankles. But Daisy was fine. "I'm climbing, you slide," she shouted out loud and laughed at the sky. She grabbed for a rung, but the ladder had stopped. Daisy McDerkin had arrived at the top. But when she looked down the slide, her knees quaked in fright. She clung to the railing with all of her might. She quivered and shivered and quavered and shook. She flapped in the wind like a page in a book. Her face was a grimace overlaid on a frown. "I can't ride this slide. I'm too scared to slide down." She sat in the wind, and she squirmed and she kicked. She stared at her flower, and she poked and she picked, till it was simply a skinny pimply bump on a stick. And after what felt like 10 hours of fear, a thin trembly whimper fell on her ear. From Daisy's red backpack peeked Mango the cat. Mango had hidden there, after breakfast in fact. But Mango just quivered as he peered all around, at the frightening slide that veered at the ground. "Poor Mango," said Daisy, as she petted his hair. She looked at his eyes. He really was scared. This could not be allowed, not to Mango the cat. Daisy's pal was in trouble. She needed to act. "Look, Mango," she said, "it's only a slide. It's a flat piece of metal with rails on the sides, some paint, and a rickety ladder on back. Just a silly old slide. Who's frightened of that? And this slide's not that tall. You rode Audrey's last fall, and that slide was fearsome and frightful and hectic. But you sliced it and diced it. You ate it for breakfast." The friends sat in silence at the top of the chute, one friend apprehensive and one resolute. "Do you think we can do it?" Mango meowed. "We can do it," said Daisy. "Of that I am certain, 'cause you're Mango the cat, and I'm Daisy McDerkin." "Let's slide," Mango cried, and he clutched Daisy tight. Together they shoved with all of their might, and the two friends plunged downwards into the night. They careened through the brambles. They careened through the brambles and swooped through the trees. They laughed as their faces were pasted with leaves. They hurtled and zoomed, their fears now forgotten, till they plopped on their butts in the sand at the bottom. They turned to each other, and they hugged and they grinned, and at the same time they both yelled, "Again!"